Hello everyone, welcome back to the Tucked In Podcast. Today is our second episode. Your co-hosts Romeo and Aran, and we're joined by a very special guest, Caecilius, our friend. He's an up-and-coming rapper with 6,000 monthly listeners, and some of you may know him from songs like Beautiful Eyes and CS80, and he's just released his new project, Don't Trip. And yeah, it's just really good. Great to have you on, man. How are you feeling?
Good to see you, bro.
Feeling lovely.
You're tucked in between us, bro.
Yeah. Ready to get tucked in, man.
Yeah.
But yeah, really, I think we wanted to just kind of start off today with just for some of your listeners might be watching and they might want to get to know you a bit more. Where did Caecilius all start?
I mean, I've been making music since I was like really, really young.
Yeah.
Like playing piano and guitar and violin. And then, I mean, when I was like 14, I guess I started writing songs. Not necessarily rap at first, but it's working.
Oh, is it?
Yeah. Not necessarily rap at first, but just anything. And
Did your parents sort of teach you, like, make you learn instruments or?
Yeah. My mom
Really?
put me through piano
I didn't know that.
and singing as well. So like I did a bit of choir. I was a choir boy. Back in like year 2 and then I started writing music about just like sort of to kind of explain how I was feeling to myself, because I felt, I feel like a lot of people start writing music when they're not feeling great, and that's kind of the same for me. So yeah, that's
And where did Caecilius come from, the name?
I was like
Latin Jesus.
yeah, just literally I was like in year 11 before I released any music, and I was thinking about what name I could use. And all of the other names I was thinking of were just like really corny. Caecilius is pretty corny as well, but I mean,
it's different.
That shit,
yeah, I thought it's kind of niche enough where random people won't know what that means, but it still looks cool. And then also, like the people who know what it is will be like, oh, so that's what's, yeah.
No, but I think I remember you mentioned that you weren't feeling too great when you kind of started making music. Like, what kind of emotions do you try and channel through your music?
I mean, like initially, I think because I made like 4 albums now. The first 2, a lot of it was based on kind of introspection and like, I mean, in school, I had quite a lot. Like I wasn't like an unpopular person, but I still kind of felt like I didn't really have people that I kind of really resonated with. And so a lot of it was kind of loneliness, kind of like low self-esteem, like family stuff, just like anything that was on my mind that was kind of affecting me, I tried to put it into music, if that makes sense.
It's like, I think like maybe people write a diary as a way to kind of like, so like it's not like there's a way of therapy, I think, is a way to kind of, is that sort of way you treat music as a way to kind of let all your emotions out?
Yeah, but at the same time, just like looking at music from what I've made, even though I feel like people say music's like therapy a lot.
Yeah.
But to me, I don't think it really works that way. I think a lot of the time it's like you can't, what you think is the way you feel as well. And if you're constantly making music about how bad you feel, then you'll kind of just feel worse, if that makes sense. You know what I'm saying? So like nowadays it was like, I think with Don't Trip, like my latest album, that was more about kind of just trying to reflect on kind of everything that's happened that's affected me up until this point, and then kind of just leave it there, and then from now just make more kind of upbeat, ignorant music, but that can kind of like not inspire people, but like kind of make people feel better about themselves rather than
I think
feel worse about themselves. So
I mean, that's something that I remember when I was younger, I used to kind of listen to a lot of like Juice WRLD or like sad music.
XXX.
Yeah. I used to, and
so
I think it's kind of it's almost like I love those artists are great, but it's almost a cycle, I think, of you feeling bad and then you feel even worse.
And
then so I appreciate that you kind of understand that, and you're making sort of more upbeat music. I think it helps people listening feel more upbeat,
and not necessarily upbeat music, but you can tell, like with X, like I love X. I'd say I've listened to so much X, and I still think he's like one of the best artists that just like died too soon.
Yeah, so much potential. Man,
but at the same time, it's like his music, if you listen to his music too much, even when you're like, if you've had a good day and you listen to X just because he's like your favorite artist, he's gonna make you feel worse about yourself. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But like for me, that's why artists like Kendrick and Frank Ocean, I say those two are probably my biggest favorites, because they're kind of, it's separate. Their music now kind of has more a message from, like, they're trying to tell a story in a song,
it's a story,
rather than just like portraying emotion of how they're feeling. I think that's more what I want to do. I think that's more like artistically freeing as well, because it's kind of choosing to do something rather than as a result of what you feel inside.
Yeah, I mean, I think I noticed that with, that's what I like about your music, I think, is that it's not, it's more of like a, you're like a, I mean, I think you're a good storyteller in your music, definitely. And I like the fact that you don't, I think some music is quite ignorant and they're just talking about drugs or girls or money. I feel you don't really talk about, you talk about more, like, like I can relate with your music, like you talk about people we know, or like things that's happened, and I think that's good, and I think that's good when music's like that, you know.
Meaning to the music's really important.
But with the whole, like, a lot of music's about drugs and women and like money. Yeah. Like, I feel like there's two sides to that music. I think a lot of artists these days, like, let's say, artists who just see music as like a quick way to make money if they make a hit song. That it's the most easy thing to write about, like, because it does well, and then it's quite easy to make up lines using those things. But then when those lines only originated from probably like people like, you know, like Jay-Z, like the old school artists, who that's literally from where they grew up. Like, none of us come from that kind of background, you know. That's what I'm saying. So like when we say it's actually just disingenuous, it's like just lying for the sake of it. But when artists like that, and if you dismiss all of like that trap music, then I feel that's ignorant in itself, because it's like a lot of these people genuinely were kind of pushed into a life of crime, grew up in like families of poverty, and then that's the stuff they grew up around, where the culture was just fuck as many women as you can, or like just make as much money as you can, and then they end up doing drugs just because of their situation, and a lot of people around them are doing it. So it's kind of two sides to that. I think there are a lot of people who make music and they just cap because they're from like middle class background and they just lie about that shit. But then there are a lot of people who kind of make that music because that's what they've experienced. Not saying it's a good thing. No one's saying it's a good thing, but they're genuinely being like at least upfront and honest about their kind of.
But isn't the effect they have on people more important?
But that's what I'm saying. A lot of people don't make music to affect people.
Oh, they just make it for themselves.
Yeah, they make it for themselves, and they see this can give me a life where I'll have a big house, I'll have like financial security, but then like it's just the nature of anything that becomes mainstream is like people that haven't come from that place will enjoy it and kind of assimilate it into their brains a bit.
So what motivates you to make music then?
Motivates me? Yeah. I mean, recently it's genuinely been like, if I make a song, I kind of want it to like at least be honest, if that makes sense. But because I think if I make something true to myself, then there's going to be millions of other people out there who feel this exact same way. I feel like we're all similar in that way, and we all have similar experiences, but kind of just to like help people genuinely in some way. And you can help people by making a really ignorant song. Like Japan, bro. Japan is the most ignorant song, but that's made us so like at least with our friend group, it's just like it's like something we've just got.
I told you it was like A tier the other day. It was actually stuck in my head after. And then I was like, I regret saying that now a little bit. Like, it's actually a really good song.
You can help people in so many different ways, whether it's just like an ignorant song you can just like turn up to and like feel like nothing matters to, or whether you actually target some specific thing, whether it's like I don't know if you heard Be Weak Around Me, the song I made. Follow heard it. I dropped it over summer in it. Like that's probably my most like open and like vulnerable song.
Would you say that's your favourite song you made?
I don't know about favourite, because I don't even listen back to it too much, because that was like on the album where I just wanted to leave it in the past, and whoever listens to it and is going through something similar can take what they want from it. But there's, you know, you can do it in both ways, where you talk about something serious or you go the complete opposite direction. The song means nothing, but it's kind of the experience you have while making it, or the experience you have while listening to it in the environment you listen to it in as well. But It's kind of long-winded, my bad.
No, I mean, I think it's interesting to kind of see like what goes through your head when thinking about music, making music. I think I like your thought process. I feel like a lot of people I think make music just from a purely maybe monetary sense, or like a very shallow perspective, like I just want to make money, or I want to
just like look cool.
Yeah, exactly. Like, but I feel like you seem to have a more deeper connection or understanding with your music as a way for you to express how you feel.
Yeah.
And even I think maybe, I don't know, but I think maybe when you make your music, do you feel that maybe you kind of understand like what you're feeling more, because when you kind of express yourself in the bars, and it helps kind of.
I think Kendrick said something where it was like he started making music to kind of make sense of himself.
Yeah.
If that makes sense. And I think that resonates with me a lot, because it's like, even sometimes when I'm writing it, I kind of do it intuitively. I don't really understand in the moment what I'm writing, but then once I've sat with the song after it's made, I'll be like, okay, that's what I meant, and then I kind of make more sense to myself, if that makes sense. But I think a lot of people don't like. I guess like I feel like you guys see it and follow, right? You kind of don't really want to like let people know that you make music, right? You kind of want to do it anonymously. I get that, because it's like I feel like people kind of make an impression of you when they hear, oh, he makes music. You know what I'm saying? And that impression, just because of how many like shit artists there are out there that just make money, like make music that's just like really like shallow and like surface level. That's what most people have an impression of when they hear like, oh, a 19-year-old kid in uni who makes music, I think. But and I'm guessing that's probably what impression people might first have of me if they don't listen to my music, right? But that's kind of what I want people to know, is like if they actually go into like my music and Follow's music, I'd say like, everything I've heard from Follow has been like quite heartfelt. It's like, it's not, I'm being serious. Yeah, it's like, it's not, we're not doing this just to look cool. I think if anything, if you listen to the songs, it's like we're showing kind of the most vulnerable and the most like ugly parts of ourselves, and the most like parts of us that we kind of keep hidden because we don't want to be judged, and that's what we put in our music. We don't really, the
parts that everyone keeps hidden.
Yeah, and we don't, like, I don't portray myself as a cool person in my music. But I mean, I have kind of sometimes. I think Spin is probably my most, but I'd say that's probably the worst reflection of me I have in my music, because I was low-key just pissed about my ex. But yeah,
but then I feel like everybody I mean, you're never gonna be, we're all flawed at the end of the day, right? We'll make the right decision, the wrong decision, and it's all about learning from it and trying to put out as much positivity as you can, you know, and you know, you do what you can with that. But I feel like you mentioned, what's the most fun you've had making a song?
The most fun I've had,
the cypher.
Genuinely, I think the cypher we did, and Japan, so good, and Japan, because that's like the most collaborative it's been.
When you collab, it's the most fun.
And we were all just in a room after exams had finished, licked off our heads. Like a lot of people who weren't even on the song were just there.
Yeah, it was honestly.
There were like 100 people in my flat that day. It was boiling, sweaty. It was so hot. But, that was great.
Oh man, yeah, there's a
and then Aran's verse. If you don't know about it,
is that out?
That was like winning the song.
No, it's not. But Aran's verse, no one had heard him rap. I'd heard he did a little SoundCloud song called Perryvale. Want to explain what was that?
Like 4 years ago, yeah.
Explain.
Lockdown times, so you know, I just thought it was cool, so I started making like drill songs.
Yeah.
And that was just like, I was just putting it out because that was like what I'd heard. It was just like, oh, this hoe, that hoe, you know. That was what the music was.
Yeah.
But this one was different. I did think about what I was trying to say beforehand. It was good. Like when after the bars, everyone started celebrating.
Yeah.
That was
flow is on. You have to make that like a bonus track or something.
Yeah, right? I will. I'll get it out there someday.
Honestly, but it was like the 2 steps forward, one step
backwards.
Yeah, no.
Sometimes I lose and get spun backwards.
I put it on my thing as well, on my channel. So I'm gonna put more music on there. It's gonna be good.
Yeah.
But he surprised us all that day, and I even stole his bars in one of my songs. The 2 steps forward, 1 step backwards. Sometimes I lose and get spun backwards. I think it just fit the vibe of what I was trying to say, and I was like, Aaron's already said it, so I'll just copy him. And I didn't give him credit as well. I just stole it.
My royalties.
I mean, no one gives credit nowadays, though, you know. With Ghostwriter, Drake.
Yeah.
All that. What's going on there, man?
Oh, forget that, man.
No, but I mean, what do you think? Like, who's been, you know, your biggest influence? Like, if you can name one artist who's been your biggest influence.
Ooh, I'm not gonna name one artist, bro. I'll give it, like, the person who got me into music was a mixture of like J. Cole and Eminem, right? But then if I'm being honest, I don't listen to Eminem at all anymore.
Yeah.
And now it's kind of artistically Kendrick, Frank Ocean, Kanye, and Tyler. Like, are probably my four that I kind of look to. Not necessarily for the sound. Like, I think I take my sound from pretty much anywhere. It doesn't matter which artist, but in terms of what they try and do artistically, in terms of what message they put into their music, how like authentic they are, and just trying to be as creative as possible. I think they're like really
they push boundaries. I think.
Yeah, exactly.
Sort of genre bending kind of. I mean, like, even with your music, like, I know, you know, it's not just trap beats. It's like there's more variety. It's more interesting, I think, you know. But I mean, I mean, I don't know. What Aaron, what's your favorite artist?
My favorite artist, you know, I would really like wide. So if you took rap, American, British, and you just took a slice through all of it, because there's each artist, I only like their few top songs. Like, for example, Kendrick, All the Stars, Swimming Pools, like there's just a few songs of his that I like. And then Kanye, there's like a bunch of his songs that I like. And then there's like Headlines by Drake is a banger. And then there's a bunch of Eminem's shit. And then like there's UK rap as well. Like there's some, like, you know, it's just everywhere. It's just a slice through rap.
Yeah, fair.
Yeah.
That's cool. What do you not like though? Like, what parts of music, or not necessarily rap, but music, that do you not like?
I think I like really upbeat things. So when it sounds kind of melancholy, it doesn't make me feel good, so I don't really like it. But it's like, it's usually those like high aggressive beats.
Yeah,
those like hard bass. That's what gets me.
Is that related to kind of how you kind of view your life? Whereas, because you've said before on your channel and just to me as well, that when I said you are your thoughts, that's kind of the sentiment you've kind of pushed out there a lot.
Yeah.
And it's like, if you kind of, let's say a sad song is negative energy and a upbeat song is positive energy, you just want to surround yourself with as much positive energy as possible. Is that?
Yeah, because sad music just makes me feel sad, right? But when it's upbeat, you know, you get put in a pumped up mood.
Yeah.
And it's good. You just feel good. Just geek out to it, like.
Yeah. I hear that.
But to be honest, I think sometimes, like, at least for me, like when I was a little bit younger, I used to listen to a lot of maybe melancholy music, because just to like feel something, you know, like if you have like a long day of just, I don't know, like especially like A levels or GCSEs, like just studying day in day out, like you're not seeing anybody, like COVID, you know, just being inside all day, like sometimes you just want to listen to something that you can like kind of attach to their emotion. Like, let's say, I don't know, Juice WRLD singing about addiction or whatever, and like there's a lot of emotion, there's a lot of like energy in that music, you know, whether it's positive or negative, but like sometimes maybe people like at least I found I was grasped onto that energy, just to kind of feel like I was doing something, you know what I mean? Like I feel like I was, you know, okay, I don't know, like even if it was negative, like I felt like I felt something, you know what I mean? Like I don't know, but yeah, I've been trying to listen to happy music recently. Like I was my first artist I think I ever was like Lil Uzi or something. I think it was like that's a guy, he got me when like 2016 or something crazy. But I don't know, I feel like my music taste compared to you guys, I think is less sort of introspective. It's more surface level kind of.
But that I don't think that
my music interest isn't really introspective.
I think his is
mine's just deep shit, man.
Mine is just upbeat. That's like one checkbox, just be upbeat.
But do you think that relates with what you're saying with you want to feel something, and that's when we're talking about how music kind of can change your mood, right? It's similar with film, right? Yeah. If you watch a movie that's about I don't know, let's say like the Nazi extermination camps, right? One of their movies, or a war movie, or a movie about domestic violence, right? They will change your mood after you've watched it. When the movie's impacted you, it kind of brings you into that world, and kind of that message gets put on you, right?
Yeah.
But do you think that's, do you think that's less or more of a problem? Because music is kind of constant. I feel like people listen to music way more than they watch things. Or is that true? Do you think?
I think there's a lot of things to unpack there. First of all, I think if you look like, okay, why are movies more popular than documentaries? Because there's emotion, there's like energy like injected and attached into it. Like why? Okay, some of my favorite films have been the most emotionally complex films. Like I really like Crazy Stupid Love is like one of my favorite films, and there's a lot going on. Like I mean the title is like three different emotions basically, like crazy stupid. Like you know what I mean? There's a lot going on there, right? And then I think people really what leaves them biggest mark on people is emotion and like people's stories, you know. And I think with music, I think this is a bad thing actually. It's like I think people listen to music too much.
I agree.
I think it's like on your way to work, while you're eating, while you're studying. It's just music getting. I don't know. I feel like it kind of drowns out your own thoughts. That's why I struggle to study with music because
I never listen to music unless I'm with you lot or I'm trying to like just there's no reason. I don't by myself. I never listen to music.
Fair, man. Yeah.
But yeah.
You listen to it a lot. I noticed. You always have your headphones in.
I think I'm trying to cut down. Like,
you think it's bad? Like, did you?
I think it's bad. I think it's actually bad for you. Not even just for your ears. Like sometimes I get tinnitus now, so my ears are fucked. But it's not good.
That's not good, is it?
But it's also because I spent hours just mixing a song, just like with the same loop playing on high volume. But listening to music all the time, it's like you just don't hear that. Like when you take it out, it's just so silent, and it just feels good sometimes. I think it can be. It's like it's just a constant supply of dopamine that you have if you just keep listening to music. So it's, I don't know.
I guess that's what I was saying. Like, so you wake up in the morning, you like, what should I feel today? I'll just play. Let's see what the song tells me. You know what I mean? It's like, I feel like people have outsourced a lot of their thinking and emotion to music, things around. They even music or, YouTube, anything. Like, I feel like people struggle. I think now. That's why we have a loneliness epidemic. So people struggle to express how they feel. I think people struggle to make connections because they just so rely on other people telling them what to feel. You know, even with positive, happy music, like, okay, someone's telling you, like, you're not feeling happy from yourself. You're feeling happy because someone's talking about the money that they have, or they start from the bottom, now they're here, whatever. You know what I mean? Like, you're not, it's not actually, I don't know. It's like, is that your story? Is that their story? That's why I try to not listen to music as much.
It's kind of linked to, like, I think a lot of popular music amongst like people our age now isn't necessarily message-based music. If that makes sense. Like, we all like Playboy Carti, Uzi, like just any of those artists, right? But their music doesn't have like a direct message. Their music's made to be just vibed to in the background, not even in the background, but just in your headphones when you're just, let's say, on the tube or walking. And that's kind of, it's made for those situations where you're literally not doing anything.
But I think, to be honest, like, a lot of people, I think some of those are like Playboy Carti. I think is someone who's very underrated. I
think he's a genius, man.
I think that's a take. It's a weird take, but I'll tell you why. Because with his, or even some artists like him, they don't really say much, right? Like, if you look at the lyrics of the song, you go on Genius, like, there's not many lyrics, right?
Yeah.
But then it's more of like it's up to you to kind of decide what you take from that music, right? Like,
yeah.
I feel like his music has a lot of just sort of ideas that you can kind of, like, for example, a good song is Long Time, right? Where it's either a happy or sad song depending on how you feel,
Yeah.
And I think that's quite hard to, like, even really great artists who are very accomplished, I think, like Kendrick, it's okay, that's the story, but that's the story.
Yeah,
like, you can't change the story.
It's more open to
it's more open to interpretation. It's like abstract art versus still life,
Yeah, and it's like the 24 Songs leak, right?
Yeah. I know you love that song.
I love that song, bro. But like, what is that a happy song? Is that a sad song? Is that what is that song? Like,
it's just so hard
it's just
to tell.
there.
It's very emotionally ambiguous.
Yeah. And when we played it for Rio, who's like not really doesn't really like that kind of music. He was like, what is this? Yeah. Like, this is nothing. Like, what's he saying? It's just like minimalist as hell. But I don't know. What do you think of that type of music?
What do you mean?
To put him in, like,
I haven't heard that song, but I know. Okay, Carti I've heard. Put him in a noose.
Yeah.
You love that song.
It's good as a joke.
Really?
You think so?
It's not really.
I want to hear more about it.
It is good. It's funny, but I don't know. It's just it's a bit unserious.
You're the sort of person, like, if you went to like the Tate Modern and you saw like the urinal on you wouldn't appreciate that. You think that's just a joke. Like that's.
I would appreciate it, but only not
like
really, like kind of, but not in the same way that I'd appreciate a piece of art that I would consider.
I think like
art.
Playboy Carti or artists like him are like abstract art versus you have artists like Kendrick or even Eminem or any very lyricist artists who are more.
Yeah.
There's a lot of effort put into that music, and so you appreciate it for the effort.
But I don't think that. I think Carti's music is less effort. Like
it's
he puts less effort into it, but the same that doesn't change how valuable it is as like an art form. And I think people watching this who don't like Carti will think we're like absolutely stupid. Like they'll think he's just a mumble rapper that makes nonsense music. But actually lock in, genuinely like lock in.
And there's also
like no, because value like, bro, he's like. There's a reason. Okay, just talk from the perspective of like other artists valuing him, right? The whole Lil Pump compared to Carti. I get Lil Pump.
I like Lil Pump songs.
But he's just got... Okay, but him, he purposely like trolled. 6ix9ine purposely just trolled on their songs to like get famous, right?
Really?
Yeah. As in, that was their business plan,
what do you mean
right?
They troll?
As in, so they'll
say that most outrageous shit.
Yeah, and they'll have these fake beefs like Trippie Redd and 6ix9ine, all those fake beefs just to like... It's all about making money for them. There's no actual...
Yeah, but they're good.
They're not genuine art.
They're still good at rapping, so that's a genuine artist.
I mean, no,
they make songs that people like.
But no one respects their music.
No,
like,
no,
if you ask someone...
listen to...
No, they don't. They listen to it because, like... Bro, okay. Okay, maybe disagree on that. But, okay, like, well-established artists. I'm talking, like, the ones that, like Kanye.
Yeah.
I go on about these people because, like, I just think they're, like, really good artists. Kanye... Kendrick, Skepta. Skepta was on Carti before he like blew up at all, right? Frank Ocean. I don't know. SZA as well, right? Travis. All these people respect him because he makes music that he's not trying to blow up from it. He makes like music that people won't necessarily like at first, and then later people kind of realize, oh, it's kind of the sounds evolved based on that. If that makes sense.
Like he's not like he's like you can't even a lot of time you can't. I mean I can because I listen to him a lot, but like a lot of people can't actually understand what he's saying. So there you go. There's already he's not trying to say controversial things. He's trying to say things that people quote. Oh, he said this. You know, he's just you don't even know. He's like an instrument himself.
So
but I'm saying like it's more genuine. I think it comes across.
Yeah, I agree. It's more genuine, but I still think like Lil Pump makes banging songs.
So does they have no like
genuine.
They won't last, bro.
So...
They won't last. It's just
it's
just like.
How is putting him in the news going to last you longer than?
Don't take that song. Don't take like that song in isolation. I still think that song's really good. But if
I
you
think
look
it's
at the
good as well. But I'm
great.
saying why is Gucci Gang not going to last you? But
okay, I'll tell you why. So Gucci Gang, fundamentally, what he's talking about is how he's got lots of money suddenly or whatever.
Yeah, but it's still bad.
And it's like he's flexing his money, like, and it's all about like prove it. Like it's all about other people's reaction for him. It's about look at me. You need to look at me about I've got all this money. Like in the music video, he's walking around with like a lion. Like it's all flashy. It's all about like
a lion.
Yeah, like a CGI lion. You never watched the music video?
I've never seen this.
Anyway, I don't know. It's all about flashy. It's all about like what can I do to sort of stand out. And whereas with someone like Playboy Carti, for example, he wears very dark clothes. He's not trying to stand out. Like you can argue he's trying to stand out because he's
in the opposite.
Just to interrupt, right? You know the mic thing. The gain is like seems to be getting tampered with. Because it wasn't that high before.
Oh no, it's because I'm twisting this, bro.
Is that why?
Nah, it's calm. Don't worry. It's because the mic's moving closer.
What I was saying. So with someone like him, right? It's like he's okay. Even that song, the one song that you know, okay?
No, he has other ones.
No. I'm saying
Dumbo, a beautiful classic.
I just think there's more.
Dumbo is a classic. It's a classic.
Okay, I'll tell you something. I think one thing with artists who aren't necessarily lyrical artists, I think there's a lot of unspoken things about the actual sounds in the music, like the beats themselves. They have these synths, and they have these synths that you can't even hear, and I think they make you feel emotions that. Like there's not a conspiracy theory. It's just like facts. Yeah. As in like there's like the frequencies and the sound waves. There's a lot of actual effort being put into like the frequencies in the music themselves.
What, in Carti's music?
Well, just in general, like recently with the heavy use of electronic sounds and music, like they make you feel certain emotions that you can't necessarily understand at the time. Like why you know, a lot of songs nowadays are very emotionally ambiguous because you'll have, I don't know, a guitar as the sample which is in major key, right?
Yeah.
This is a good example actually. I don't know if you know these songs, but there's a song by J. Cole and Bass called Tribe, right, which has this guitar sample, and there's a song by Juice WRLD called Make Believe, which has the exact same guitar sample, but one of the songs is a very happy like song, but the other song is Juice WRLD is actually kind of depressing song actually, right? And so they have this exact same sample, I think in the same key as well, but they're two very different sort of emotional things you can take away from the song. That's because of the other background noises that are in the song, like the synths.
All music.
Yeah, but I'm saying like I think there's a lot to be said. That's why I think listening to music all the time in your headphones is bad for you, because there's a lot of other sounds that I think are negatively affecting our...
That you might not like consciously...
Yeah, you might consciously realise.
Yeah. Some chord progressions, like... I don't know the name of it. I don't know the theory of it. It's like minor sevenths or like dominant. Yeah. Like, it's just one of them, innit? But they're like... Just like, if you hear it, then you'll definitely feel sad or nostalgic. It's like a specific like nostalgic
there's different things.
Yeah, so I've been playing around with that on guitar, trying to like get that, because I know that's like how you can turn any song from happy into like sad, and it's like you can put any song over those chords. So like you can have the lyrics for any song, but that what I guess what he's saying is depending on the chord progressions you use, you can really change how much like emotional weight it carries. But yeah,
that's why people like Lil Pump, they're not thinking about all that, mate.
They don't have that,
which makes their music better.
Better? You think it's better?
Yeah, well, your artists sound like they're trying to manipulate us.
But but then there's what I'm saying is that it's wrong to say they don't put effort in their music. Is what I'm saying. Like you can't say
what
makes good music.
Another point he was making with like how Lil Pump is really flashy and just tries to get like a response out of people is like he makes music to show people or for people to be like, oh, you're so cool, oh, you're this, you're that, oh, look at him, he's doing all these crazy things, to get like a response from someone. Like he's just he's jabbing people.
It's still good music though.
Yeah, but it's not like valid music. It's not really good.
Why is it not valid just because he's not a strange character?
No, it's not a strange character. Like he's not even. Bro, just listen to the lyrics. Like I feel like your album is actually stupid.
Funny. It's good. It's funny. It's like it's just upbeat and funny, and like it's like a joke, but it's also good. It's the same actually feeling that I get with Put 'Em in a Noose.
Yeah. Fair.
I mean, what's that song? 2024.
Yeah, the same vibe I get from that.
I think if I wanted to compare those two songs, I think 2024 has more substance to the lyrics when he's talking about like, okay, what does Put 'Em in the News actually mean? Like, it means like
kill someone.
Yeah, it means kill someone. Yeah. He's like talking about how he's gonna kill his ops and like
and
he's talking about no, but that's like
follow. We need an intervention here.
I think fundamentally, even if both artists give you the same feeling, fundamentally, I think Carti, when you look at his process, it's so much more creative. Like I've just been looking at Gucci like the lyrics for different Lil Pump songs, and Carti songs. Like you can say it gives you the same feeling, but what separates these two? Number one, it's Carti's versatility, and number two, when Carti makes these vibe songs, he's the one who's behind the pen. It's just a ton more creative. Like Lil Pump, he'll be saying things like, "Ooh, spend 3 racks on a new chain." Like there's nothing new or creative about that.
I know.
Whereas when Carti raps, there's actually even if the topics are not of substance, at least there's actual bars there, or there's something different there, or he's involved with the production value as well. Like Carti is a genius in so many different areas of music. He's not just a rapper. He's cultivated the persona. He's involved behind the scenes, and also like there's just so many more layers with Carti's music compared to Lil Pump.
I know, but it's still.
But like, I wouldn't.
3 racks and a new chain.
Yeah, no,
that's hard.
I know. Like you can defend your right to listen to music that's just hard. It's just because you might not understand Carti's value because you don't know too much about him apart from like the surface level stuff. You can't like equate their music in that sense, but you have the right to enjoy what you want and think, oh yeah, this is just hard. Like I don't really care about what he's saying. It's just fun. Like that's fair. You can do that, but there is a difference between what Carti produces and what Lil Pump produces.
I know. I'm not disagreeing or arguing with that. I'm just saying, does it matter if the music's good? The music's good.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, like that.
So not everyone has to.
I think that comes down to like recently music has been. I think, to be fair, that's something I agree with Drake on. It was on like XQC's stream, and he was talking about how music has become very, like everything like politics has become very sort of. It's not controversial, but as in like there's a lot of like very strong opinions on like the whole Drake versus Kendrick. Like a lot of people feel very strongly about like all the other one's trash, and everyone feels very strongly about their opinion on music. Like it's everything in general in life. Like we would think of people like what's that guy called, the Needle Drop or something. Like, he's like,
I think he's been a negative influence.
Division just drives interactions, and interactions drives money.
He's the Needle Drop.
About money, so
he's a music reviewer.
Anthony Fantano.
Anthony Fantano. That's what I'm talking about.
The Needle Drop.
That's what.
What's wrong? I thought he was good. What's wrong? What's he done?
It's subjective. Like music reviews are subjective. I don't really take stock in his opinion, so it doesn't matter to me. But I know some people who.
What did he say? Did he say Drake's bad or Kendrick's bad?
I think he said Drake's bad. I think, but the thing is that it's more just he has like 1 million subscribers. He gets about 1 million views on each video, and then he essentially just basically his video is his opinion, and like in a way that is almost persuasive to the viewer, that you kind of leave his video. I mean, if you leave your brains outside, you kind of leave the video essentially being like whatever he says is based. Like if he views the album as 6, then you're gonna think it's a 6. Like Damn, for example, he had the Kendrick album. Like I watched that video.
Yeah.
Like, I think Damn is like a 10 out of 10, right?
Yeah.
But I watched
it. Didn't like it.
I watched it, and then it's like when I left, I was like, okay, well maybe it's a 7 actually, because he was saying the way he structures, and it's fair, like he's allowed to do that, but then that's like, you know what I'm saying, like. Yeah,
it's just the way people take his takes though, because I think people take him way too seriously, and they think he's the most.
Isn't that kind of his fault? Because he never says like, "Oh, this is my."
He
opinion.
He does. No. He does. Like in every description of his video, he says, "This is just my opinion. Don't take it too seriously." It's just people think, and for whatever reason, people take him way too seriously, and his opinion actually changes how like. Maybe not the sales of an album, or maybe not how like casual listeners will appreciate it, but people who like care about music, who are supposedly are supposed to have their own opinion on music, it will change the way they see the music. Like you don't even listen to Frank Ocean, bro. But yeah, Blonde, like I listened to that in my own time, and before I'd even heard of Fantano, and I was like, okay, I hated the album at first, and then it took like a year for me to like just like love it.
I understand it.
Yeah. Or understand whatever, just like love it and like grow around it. And then I watched his review, and then he's just shitting on songs which like I loved, if that makes sense. And then it's like for a bit it affected the way I saw the music, but then now I'm kind of just like, nah, I just like the song.
I think that's my problem. I think music shouldn't be something that has to be reviewed. In fact, I think music has become so, just like anything in life, it's become so financially driven. Everything is about making money. Like we have these like month-long album rollouts. It's just like, why is that shouldn't be the focus of the music,
I mean, with rollouts, right, it's from the artist doing that. They're not, whether they're doing it to drive sales so they make more money, or drive sales so they reach more people with their music. Because I think reaching more people with your music is kind of the goal of every artist, if that makes sense. They want people to listen to their music.
But then I think, like I say Frank Ocean's an example of someone who I think is quite genuine about it. Like, he's never really...
Yeah, and he doesn't really do rollouts.
Yeah, I mean, he hasn't released anything in a long time. Yeah. I don't think, even when he did, I wasn't necessarily like listening that carefully about it. But it didn't seem like he was trying very hard for it to become pop. Like, he was just putting out music, and then it takes like years for people to
get it,
accept it, and these songs are very long lifespans,
because that's why I think like the genuine artists are the ones who make music as an expression of themselves, or they have a message they're trying to portray, and they put it out not caring whether people will like it or hate it. You know what I'm saying? They care about more whether they like it or hate it.
That's what I like. I love when artists take risks. I love when artists that do experimental. Like, I know people. I loved Pink Tape, to be honest. I know you disagree.
I liked it.
There's a lot of value in Pink Tape. Like, after re-listening, like there's a few songs that I didn't appreciate upon first listen. Like, I understand why someone would love Pink Tape. That is fair, because there's a lot of personality in the Pink Tape.
There's a lot of personality.
But that's when, like, with other like Uzi stuff that's been released recently, like Eternal Take 2. There's not as much personality there. It just feels like something bland that was put out to appease his label, to appease the fans, but it's not actually. There's nothing there. Like, it's not really Uzi. It's just Uzi that's been subdued by the nitrous and whatever. It's not real Uzi. Whereas Pink Tape, you can still feel like his essence in the music. So I understand why you like it. Like, even though I might not love the Pink tape, I get why you like it.
Yeah, I mean, I think I liked. There was one bar in one of his songs. It's like, insecurities always make me want to be taller. I like that sort of stuff. Like that. But no, you know what? Actually, this kind of goes back to you, like, as an artist. Like, I feel like recently a lot of artists have been using like nitrous, like Kanye.
Nitrous.
Like the or just drugs in general. Like,
gas,
why nitrous?
I don't know. I'm not sure why. Yeah, it's just a fad, but it's more like a deeper.
Like all the canisters you see outside.
Yeah, it's a deeper thing. Like when like when we've recorded with you, we've always been like drunk or whatever. Yeah. Like when you record on your own, what's the process like?
Do you drink when you record?
No, I don't. I don't. I think the only times I've been drunk when I've recorded have been when I've been with you guys. Yeah. So that's three songs. Like a couple of them haven't come out yet, but when I write, I try and be like sober. But that's the thing, when I'm writing and like when I actually get a song written, I don't feel sober, if that makes sense. I feel because you usually write from a place of kind of like emotional height, like when you feel kind of emotional about something, you know. And I don't think so that in that way I'm not really sober. Because if I was sober, where I just like feel indifferent to everything, I feel like that's a really hard place to write anything from.
Yeah.
So you kind of wait until, or not wait, but as in like, so things will happen, you know, maybe, I don't know, you might fall out or something, or whatever it might be. You that will feel your emotion. And it's not even about drinking or anything, because you're so driven by those emotions that you can write.
Yeah, it's like, I can't really control, like, how I feel, right? But it's like, I try and write regardless of how I feel. So I'm like writing, like, try and write every single day, right? Like not a song, but like a verse, or like try and write a song, if that makes sense. But just like existing in the world, I think it just kind of fills you up with that like inspiration, and then eventually it kind of just like comes out of you. And then when it's coming out of you, you just kind of like, this sounds so weird, bro, but when it
what's coming out of you?
Yeah, but when it's flowing out of you, when the juices are flowing, then it kind of, you don't have to think much. It just kind of comes. When I say intuitively, I mean like most of the songs I've released, like that are on my page, and there's like 44 songs or something, right? All of them, I'm pretty sure I've written in less than an hour. So like, it's just been and that doesn't mean like there's no emotional, there's no depth to it, there's no layers, there's no like double entendres.
It's kind of the opposite. You were in that state.
For me, I feel like those songs are like really, really layered. Like every line you look at them, it means something, if that makes sense. And I think when you listen to the best artist music, every line, or that's artists who focus on lyrics, but every like there's a lot of attention to detail in the best artist music, I think. And I think that comes from not necessarily spending so much time on it, but they're just in that zone, and they can kind of just like get out of their own way, get out of their own head, and just like be able to just create without thinking too much. But yeah, that's what I think.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's good. I mean, you don't use drugs, I guess. No. That's good. I mean,
a bit of nicotine.
But that's not really. I don't think that counts. I mean, I think, bro, that's probably why a lot of these artists are using drugs now, because I think you reach a stage as a musician where you kind of run out of things to say. Like you're like, okay, a lot of these musicians, they're kind of coming up, maybe they're moving out of like poverty or whatever it might be, and then once you reach a level where you're just satisfied with your life, like what can you actually sing about after a while, right? Like you have all the money, you have all the girls,
especially if your music is about let's say escaping poverty, then it's like, well, I'm not struggling anymore, so
and that's when it kind of becomes more like a business to them. And then I think that's where you see some artists just stop making music once they've blown up, maybe because they just feel like they have nothing.
Like even Frank Ocean, I don't think he's ever gonna release anything else, in my opinion.
I don't know, but with him, I think his brother died, so like maybe that stopped him from like just put him in a place where he didn't want to make music for a long time as well. Because I think he had an album coming, like he rolled out this like the single like Provider and Lens, and then In My Room, and then he just stopped after his brother died. But I think with the whole drugs thing, it's like a lot of them probably start doing drugs once they've blown up already, because I think I've heard just from like research, like schedules are so busy with that, how much they make them tour, and then how little time they give them to themselves. It's like when I'm guessing tour would be quite a lonely thing, even though you're performing in front of millions of people that love you. You're kind of just going from city to city. You're just being used, basically. You're just a performer.
I know like a lot of artists hate their like most famous song as well. They just perform it like hundreds and hundreds of times every year. I think Juice WRLD hated Lucid Dreams.
Yeah,
sure.
Steve Lacy hates Bad Habits, but it would get. I don't know. I'm not there yet, bro. I don't even know.
Yeah, actually, I was gonna. you've got a lot of monthly listeners though. How many? You've got like 6.
But it needs to be. I need to start performing, and then hopefully BSE year, I'll just try and perform as like I'll actually give music a proper go.
Wait, where do you know? Can you see where all your listeners are like based?
Yeah. So I've got, I mean, mostly England, and then I've got quite a lot in Brazil. You know,
Brazil.
Yeah, I've got at least like 1,000 from Brazil, like Sao Paulo, Santos, Rio, like a lot. It's cold.
Fair enough.
I think that's where Beautiful Live streams are coming from.
Really?
But yeah.
Because that's your biggest song, which is like 20
right now. Yeah. But it's cool.
And that's like an older. It's not older song, but it's something which is kind of blown up recently. It didn't blow up straight away.
Because I basically ran ads on it because I think right now TikTok blowing up on TikTok. I think I've talked to Follow about this, but I think if you think about how many artists have actually blown up on TikTok in the past year.
Me and Romeo were actually talking about TikTok as well.
How many? Like how many, bro? Like you could probably count it on 2 hands, if that.
Yeah.
Like I don't even know how. Like not that many. I don't think not that many, right? And if you think about how many people are posting song snippets, and like I said before, people's first impression of people when they say they make music is not a good one, right? They'll think, oh, he's just makes some auto-tuned mumble bullshit, right? But most of the artists you see on TikTok are just ass, bro. I'm telling you, they're just bad. Like they have no like depth. As Follow was saying about Carti having depth to him and versatility, there's none of that to them. They'll just go on YouTube, find a guitar beat, and then mumble over it, and then release it, and then like it's just like that's filling up people's For You pages. And then when people come across another person who says they're an artist, they might be a good artist. I feel a bit about that way about myself. I'm a bit salty, right? But
no, I agree. I think you like, despite maybe people's expectations, I do think you actually have quite a lot of emotion and like actual genuine.
Yeah, because that's what I try and do with it. So like, I don't think I've ever made a song or released a song where I've just been like, oh yeah, I'm just gonna release this because it's like I think I'm cool. And, like, it raps about drugs. You won't ever hear me write about drugs, or like.
But you don't do
unless I do them.
Yeah.
But I don't do them. So like, or drugs, or like like shooting people or having ops, because I don't have any of those things. But yeah, it just annoys me. That's why Facebook ads, you can target people. It costs money, obviously, but you target people that like your style of music or artist similar to you, and then if the quality of your music's good, then it will blow up, if that makes sense, or people re-listen to it, and that works with Beautiful Lives.
That's kind of like one of the things I wanted to talk about is like what it takes to actually succeed, like whether as an artist or like in any domain. Like, what does it actually take to succeed?
I think obsession, bro, but I don't know. We haven't succeeded yet, you know. So
obsession.
No, yeah, I think, and also just a kind of like fixed goldness, like not kind of being just like people say it a lot, but you do have to be deluded, I think, to get somewhere. Because let's say getting to 5k monthly listeners was a success for me from when I started when I was 16, right? Back when I was 16 and I was making like objectively trash songs, bro, like actual rubbish. I was making like disgusting songs, right? I still thought, nah, I'll be sick. I'm sick. I'll make sick music. A part of me, I didn't release it because I guess part of me knew it wasn't that good, right? But the first ever song I released, I was in my park getting recorded like a video by my friends. No like mixing, no nothing. And the song, listening back to it, is pretty shit. But then even back then, I thought it was really good because I only heard the good bits of it. As in, I heard the potential in myself. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And then if you fast forward to now, 16-year-old me would be like, oh, that's a success. Like, that's you've kind of done it. And now I kind of feel like my music is like really, really good. Maybe that's delusional. Maybe you guys don't think that, right? No, you like I'm not saying it like as to attack you, or maybe just the wider population doesn't think that if they heard it. But I guess what I'm hearing is the potential in myself, and then you need that obsession and that kind of deludedness to kind of take you to that next step.
Yeah.
Because I'm sure in 5 years, if I'm still making music, then I'll look back on my music now and be like, oh, I had so much to improve on. But then what took me to the point I am then is that kind of faith in my potential and like obsession with it.
Yeah, I think it's really true.
I mean, like, because you spent like, it's taken you a couple of years at least to kind of actually, I would say you've reached a stage where your music it sounds professional. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, I would say like every song you have the way you mix it and stuff.
Yeah.
Like, it sounds like it's just now about, I don't know, maybe having a big hit or something. I don't know, like something to just propel you.
Yeah, for me now a hit would help, but I think it's my plan now is quite simple, as in this year I'm just gonna work and like try and get a job, and like make as much music as possible, not necessarily release it, and then next year, because I'll be doing hopefully a BSc that's quite chill, I have like a part-time job, and then try and release music but do the Facebook ads thing, and then focus more on, because I think image is really important as well. Right now I don't even have an image. Like if you said to someone who Caecilius is, they might have heard a song if they're from England or.
Well, this is going to help them, hopefully.
Yeah, hopefully.
Get to know
you
a little bit. But
I need to develop an image. I think about what I want to be perceived as, and then that's my plan next year. But
I don't know. I feel like maybe it's about, because I think you have a good catalogue at the moment, right?
Yeah.
Is it about maybe instead of making as many songs as possible, putting all your effort into one song and making that as good as possible? Or do you think that's not?
But that's what I do with every song, bro. Like, I do that anyway.
How long you said you spend on a song average?
One song will take me 10, 12 hours.
Fair enough.
Genuinely. Writing it is like the least of the worries, if that makes sense. There's editing the lyrics, then rearranging like the beat, finding a beat, like switching the beat if you want to change the vibe of the song, mixing the song, mastering the song. Like, it all adds up and it takes a while. That's what I was telling Fola. Like, Fola wants, you're trying to get into it, you know what I'm saying? And then, like, from my perspective, I think right now is probably not the best time to like start making music. Second year med, I think, because like you need that time where you're just like able to just kind of do it on a whimsy, and then, or just like write what you want, if that makes sense, and then kind of make those mistakes. Maybe from next year, you're already way better than I was when I started, by the way. So
I don't know.
You 100% are. I'll show you my first song, and compared to Top Spot, like levels, bro.
We'll put all links to all of it.
Yeah. But what I think, like for Fola, I think just like if you want to do it, just do it as much as possible.
It's just like he says, it's just times are tough, man.
Yeah.
Times are tough.
It's hard to, because I think all of us are in uni and we're all doing med. We can say that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. We're all med students. Nah, we're not getting docs. We go to.
Don't
yeah. Okay. Yeah. But so we're all in second year, so we're all really, really busy right now. And like this year's only gonna get harder.
Yeah.
So like.
Well, I mean, we're kind of in the thick of it.
Yeah.
Shut up! I knew you were trying to.
No way.
I didn't even.
No,
I didn't even mean. Like, I actually. And everybody knows.
Oh,
everybody does know we're doing neuroscience right now.
Okay, yeah.
We are actually in the thick of
Yeah.
the situation.
So we're doing neuroscience right now.
I actually can't.
And then, oh my god. So whatever side hustles or like other plans we have for our life right now kind of have to be on hold for med.
Really though, I honestly, like, for me, I don't agree.
I mean, we can't put 100% into it.
We're starting. This podcast is in its second episode.
But this takes what? This will take an hour and a half to 2 hours in total, just to from start to finish, like to post and edit.
Yeah.
Right. And then it's on a Friday night as well, so we're not like
true.
we're not like slaves or anything, but it's like, it's just a bit more tough than it would have been in school or last year, or had we just not gone to uni, or you know what I'm saying. But it's a conflict.
Like, you can always make time though. You know, a lot of the time we tell ourselves we can't, but I don't know, maybe I'm sort of just being a bit too critical of people, but I see so much wasted time where it's like, you could have done so, but at the same,
no, you're right.
You don't overburden yourself.
No, I think you're right. Like for me, how I've said, this year I'm just gonna focus on making music and then just storing it up so I can release it after this year, right? But that's because right now, I guess I don't really want to blow up in music this year, if that makes sense. I don't want to give it a go.
Yeah, fine.
Right? Because my priority right now is music. I mean, is med. Sorry.
Yeah.
My priority right now is uni and getting through this year because it's supposed to be a really tough year. So then I have that platform at least. Because the worst thing I want to do is half-ass both of them, and then get to the end of the year, fail, have to resit, and then it's just way more stress than I need. And then. Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. You're right. You would make time if I really wanted it, but I guess right now I don't want it. And what I want to do is just like step back from music.
It's really interesting you say that, because I felt exactly the same when I was doing my A levels.
Yeah,
it was year 13, right? And I knew A levels are coming. I was working really hard, and I was like, you know what? I just want to receive freedom, right? Yeah. And I want to do my exams, and then I can just get into uni, and then I can just relax.
Yeah.
And then that was my plan. My whole focus was my A levels, so I do kind of get where you're coming from.
Yeah,
it's important not to make things. I think at the moment, as something I'm struggling with at the moment personally, is I'm very used to making work a chore to have to do. Like it's something that it's like I have to complete. Like back in school, I had to complete this homework, and then so in a way, it's almost like I would always do it because I always had these deadlines that school would put in. But now I find it difficult where we have more freedom or more reliance on our own timetable, like our own studying we have to do. No one's going to check that you've done it. No one's going to give you homework.
Yeah.
We only have one exam. I think it's almost quite hard to actually motivate yourself, especially when you have attached all these kind of negative, not necessarily negative, but these emotions that like work isn't something to enjoy. Like I still find it hard to enjoy medicine, even though like I like medicine. Do you know what I mean? It's like because I'm just so stuck in this mindset that it's work and there's play, and work is. Do you know what I'm saying? But it's about being able to enjoy. Like I love learning about that. You know what I mean? Like I think that's something you've done, Aaron.
Yeah. To be honest, I do. Fair enough. I've worked a lot on this kind of stuff because it's. I used to have this mindset, and sometimes it comes back, but it's like you just feel burnt out and you want to sort of just relax and play. But what does that even mean, right? Because to me now I've reached a point where it's like my life is all just this. This is life. And it's not like, oh, this is just the work, and then, I can go home and relax. And so somehow I've tried to escape that mindset through whatever, like, personal development or, like, meditation or, like, whatever's done it. It's a collective. It's not really one thing you can chalk it down to. But, yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to start to do that, I think.
Get that, man. I need to get on that, try to figure out.
I just can't seem to get out of my head that. Like I'm always looking for the next thing that I don't know, like the next social event. Like I've you know what I mean? I don't know. I'm not able to enjoy work as
it's tough. It's really tough. I say a lot of the time life is tough. I don't mean that kind of like 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 life really is tough. Like it's not just that you have a life. It's more like we're here. We don't really know what we're actually doing. Like it's hard to figure out and then get to where we want to go.
Yeah.
And there's so much going on at the same time as well, and you have all these commitments, it is, but at the same time, that means we also have the greatest opportunity that's ever been had in history, because it's like, we're not on a set path anymore, it's not like, we just do this, we just go to battle and die, there's no set pathway, we actually, and you might say that doing med is kind of a pathway, like,
I would disagree with that pathway thing, because I think, because I think you said you wanted to do engineering before.
Yeah, I did. Yeah.
So what made you do med?
My parents.
Yeah, That's what I was getting at, right? So like for me, if I'm being completely honest, and I had it my way, I guess I'd probably be doing a different degree, and just going hard at music, right? But the thing is, I respect the work my parents have put in to get me here and give me the opportunity to like work hard at a good school and go to do medicine. That for me it's not an option to drop out of medicine, even if it's not really where my heart lies, if that makes sense. So I mean, being a doctor I think is probably one of the most rewarding professions, right?
Yeah.
But at the same time it's not something that I've actively chose, like I've 100% chosen to do. And that's why with you, what you're saying, I don't know how you've done it, but you've kind of managed to motivate yourself to just do it as like work and play is the same. It's just life.
But that's
right,
two kind of separate points there. One is that I actually enjoy med now.
Yeah.
But even still, fine, I still get your point. But what I meant by the whole pathway thing, is kind of my second point, is even med is not really a pathway. You know, like we've been told, okay, we have to do it. But it's still like, we're still kind of, I guess maybe this is more of an existential thing, but we're kind of existentially a little bit unstable. So it's like,
in what way?
Like, for example, there's no set... Like, maybe someone in the really old, you know, like, long time ago, even just a few generations above us, it's like, oh, you know, this is how the world works. And you would never question it, but we've kind of gone to this stage where we just question everything.
Yeah.
And so, and maybe not everything, but we question a lot. And a lot is enough to make you sort of think, like, you know, what are we actually, like, doing?
Yeah.
You know? So, I know, obviously, okay, fine, maybe there is a pathway in terms of, like, what we study, what we do. But, like, more existentially... Okay, we have to figure things out in that regard as well. So maybe that's more what I was getting at.
Yeah, man. And you're right, because we don't have we have a lot more control over our day-to-day life as well. And what we do in that day-to-day life, especially at the uni we go to.
100%.
Right, where
Which
it's
will
like...
remain unnamed.
Yeah, because I think they give us so much free reign.
Yeah.
If you don't want to go to something, you just file an absence. And they don't check up on you. They just, all they care about is you pass the exam, and then that's it. And I think that's where maybe for me and Romeo, it's like us two, when we're given that much freedom, but you still have to pass the exam, we find it quite hard to motivate ourselves when an exam's so far away. To just like have that discipline and put effort into something that we don't necessarily really want to do, if that makes sense. As in, we might want to do medicine the more we do it, and it's not like we don't want to do medicine. It's more like it's not our first passion in life. You know what I'm saying? What would you say is your passion in life?
My passion. That's a good question. I think I don't know. I think I don't know. I feel like I think the thing is I think I don't have a passion. Maybe that's my problem. I don't think I have found something that I really enjoy doing. That I feel like I'm someone who jumps between hobbies. I jump between things. Like I'm kind of not faithful to any like singular. Like you have passion in music. Like you just that's very much like something that you are very happy to spend lots and lots of time on. Yeah. You know, some people maybe I don't know. Like I go to gym. I guess I don't know. But it's not. I don't have like a set path. Maybe that's something I need to work on myself and find my passion there. I don't know. But
it's about trying. It's a good thing though, because it means you get to try a lot of things, and it's like that uncertainty can be like freeing, because it means you're not obliged to do anything. You know.
Yeah. I mean, maybe this is my passion. Who knows?
Yeah. Create content.
Maybe it's
creating.
Being a podcast host.
Yeah. Or even med, bro. Like you never know. You know, the more I think the more time I like med a lot more than I did last year, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I had a complete turnaround. I like, obviously I got forced into it, but now I actually really enjoy it.
Yeah, and it I think that's the same with a lot of vocations. Is even when we were a kid, right? Let's say our parents forced me to play piano, right? I may not have enjoyed piano at first, but then now I'm so grateful I know how to play the piano. Because if I didn't know how to play the piano, I probably wouldn't be making music.
Caecilius, right?
Yeah, and then all of us are probably grateful that like for sacrifices that our parents have made, putting us in education and making sure we kind of stay on the right path.
Yeah.
Right. And at the time, that kind of tough love might feel like tough love, or might feel like they're just being unnecessarily strict or mean. But then later on, you kind of see the benefits of it. If that makes sense. And that might be now with med, where we're kind of in that stage where it's like it feels really like a massive chore. I don't know about for you, but for followers nodding, so I guess it feels like a big chore for us sometimes.
Yeah, but it's about getting out of that mindset.
And in the future, like I mean, the good thing is we can rest assured that we'll end up in a career doing something which is actively causing a benefit to the world, you know, and making people feel safer, like making the world a safer place.
So already me and you, we started doing this volunteering. I think that's
stuff like that. Yeah,
it's actually helping me enjoy medicine more, because it's like that's the sort of thing that we're going to be helping people, you know, and I think that's good. But
and medicine's really broad as well. Medicine's like
a lot of room to choose.
You can do so much, man. You can, if you love people, you can work with people. If you hate people, you can work in a lab or whatever.
But Actually, I wanted to ask you one thing. What's one thing that you would tell your future self, like in 10 years' time? What's one thing you'd tell them?
Oh.
Wait, so him now telling his future self?
Yeah. Like, what's one thing you'd tell him? Like,
one thing I'd tell my... Or tell... I think I'd ask him something.
Yeah,
because he knows more than me.
What would you ask?
I'd ask him if... I'd ask him if I still make music, to be honest.
I think you're curious to see if you still make music.
I'm curious to see if I still make music in 30 years. In 10 years. But what about you guys? What about you?
Maybe I would tell him that you can't change the past.
Oh, you tell your future self?
Yeah.
You can't... Oh, okay.
Why? Because you're going to do something crazy.
Yeah, are you
I'm just going to... Crazy shit's about to go down.
Like while you're in the prison cell, you're just like...
I was planning on crashing out tomorrow. Just doing some crazy things. What about you?
I think, okay, you know what? There's actually a serious answer. I would tell my future self to enjoy the time, because I feel like at the moment we're reaching an age where none of us are 20 yet, right?
No,
we're nearly 20, and I think we're reaching where it's becoming. I think it's more of like, I think, you know, okay, I think when you're younger, you look at it as you know that you can't see the end, right? But I think we're reaching a stage where it's beginning to, we're kind of getting closer, that the clock's ticking, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
it's a long time, hopefully, but it's beginning to tick, and it's time to actually like think about what can we do,
what we're gonna do, because it's
like
like this
lives,
is the first chapter, right?
Yeah, like,
everything else is like the prequel.
it's the epilogue of not epilogue,
yeah,
prologue, yeah,
and then now we're actually,
this is like the main episode.
main story.
This is like, what are we gonna achieve with the time that we have, you know? Because I'm not someone, I mean, even if you believe in like multiple lives and stuff, it's not your, like, you don't have that you're not conscious of that, right? So I would tell my future self to, whatever you're doing, you need to take a long hard look at yourself and ask yourself, is that really what you want to do for the rest of your life? That's what I'd ask him. Tell him.
What about you, Fola?
I just want my future self. Just make sure we're not lost, man. Make sure we know what we're doing. Like, wait, how many years in the future is this?
10. So 30. When we're 30.
So when I'm 30,
wow.
Please just, make sure you don't lose what you love, bro. Please.
Your wife. Yeah, wife.
No, I'm not on. I'm on about friends, family, passion.
Idiot.
Like those are Just make sure you don't lose what you love.
Don't lose sight of your people who really matter. Yeah, that's a good one.
That's real, man.
I was also maybe gonna say like, you go girl or something to my future self.
Yeah, learn this guy, man.
Fair enough, man.
Alright, I think we should we wrap it up? Do you want to wrap it up?
Or maybe also say to him like, I'm in the thick of it, but he won't.
Okay,
be.
This bit's getting cut out.
Alright, listen. I think, okay, look,
Yeah.
I want to say one more thing before we finish. Is if you don't know Caecilius, please check him out. You really enjoy his music, I think, and that's coming from someone who, you know, is quite critical of things. You know, I think you should check him out. You'd enjoy it. And thank you for making it this far. And we'll see you next week on episode 3. Where
Episode 3, yeah.
We're gonna get a new
Talk Tour podcast.
the Tucked In podcast. Thank you for listening, guys. See you next time.
Leave a like and subscribe.
Like and subscribe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Alright.
That was a really fun episode, guys.
That was cold.
Oh.